I'm talking about Mexico that had good quality. At that time, the Mercedes rather, they had some changes in that car,
Yeah.
and the rules changed, and it flipped to the other side, and Red Bull's doing quite well. And now the conversation is, who knows what might happen? A point that could happen in the next season.
Maybe the pendulum swings.
A few tweaks
Yeah.
in the rules gets to favor
that
Mercedes.
particular move is going to cause a lot of shakos because also Mercedes team now, we have the other man, the superstar there in the team, not agreeing to sign a new contract yet.
Russell.
Yeah, because he wants to have certain assurances that he's going to be an integral part of the team.
Absolutely, because so, if you bring a Verstappen to the
it will be the lead one driver.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's been playing second fiddle for a while, especially after having the likes of Hamilton being part of it. And now he's a big guy, and you're saying, come on, what are we talking about? Well, let's move on and talk about the D-Tigers. Time far gone. We'll have to squeeze it in. Time far gone. The D-Tigers crushing Cameroon 83-47 in this one and set up semi-final clash against Senegal. Well, we know the details, but I'll stick with you in this one. We know the details, the performance of the lads. Have won 5 championship already, and now they're going for even further. And defending champion in that case, after the Mozambique game, many thought it's going to be a slowdown for them because weren't performing at the highest level against Cameroon. That showed a championship stuff. 83-47, but the quest is Senegal next.
Well, I would say first of all, for the Cameroon, match, you can see the scoreline says it all, 83-47. Not often do you see that happen in a quarterfinal. So I would say Nigeria are definitely one of the favorites to get this particular one over the line. And the good thing is now, after getting married to the qualification stages for the FIBA 2026 World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah.
So a good thing for the D-Tigers. I'm even looking at this competition again because I just feel they're going to go ahead and win it. But at the end of it, let's see what happens. With Senegal now, facing Senegal, I think that, now the D-Tigers side now have a lot of work to do because against Senegal, it's going to be a different ball game. So let's see what happens in that particular semi-final clash.
Let's see what happens in the semi-final clash. Is that conversation as Durman is set to lead D-Tigers. What the D-Tigers get to the top African sides also being part of that. We're talking about Angola, the technology at the club. Interesting things. Interesting numbers. We hope it's not audio performance we're talking about here. Also, talking about the Quest to Driver Club's excellence, and also will be overseeing the development of coaching staff at the Very Best Club, and they begin the performance. The first clash would be against Rangers International. Newcomers against big guys, but Mobile Kwaraku being in charge.
Well, usually when you have teams being promoted, it's always very, very confusing to predict what to expect ahead of the start of the new season. A major challenge for them. There are quite newcomers as well in the MPFL, but the shake-up is actually expected because if you do not take that mentality at the NNL to the MPFL, I mean, it's a different letter game over the top tier of Nigerian football. So we expect more changes, even the players as well. Players are also being acquired according to reports over there. And even the CEO of the football club says that he's ready for the challenge in the MPFL. So could he just also be another side, another top side we're expecting, or maybe another Ikorodu City FC side ahead of the start of the new season? Is still a question that we're looking forward to look. But the shake-ups
and Califat is all about, well, a brief league. Now in the Nigerian Premier Football League. Last season they were in the National League. And now the owner of it, Michael Mafula, being in charge of it, the owner of the club. Well, the training ground or the playground is at Danayam Stadium, which they've been using the stadium since. And beginning of this year, they'll be using that stadium. And while we're talking to you, Diri has showered millions on victorious Bayelsa Queens after winning the Premier League in Nigeria. A 167th ESCO meeting on Wednesday. 4 million naira has been dashed out to the head coach of the side and the chairman of the board earning 3 million naira. The money I'm mentioning is for each of them. And assistant coaches earning 2 million naira each. Backroom staff 500,000 naira each. Board members getting 1 million naira each. The supporters club receiving 3 million naira for supporters club. Come on, it can't be each because come on, there are too many. but somewhat somehow, good performance and funny Tina. We've seen by ourselves Queens absolutely fantastic last season, winning the league after the Super 8 competition, and now money being shared by the governor.
Well, I think this still boils down to the precedent already set by the Super Falcons of Nigeria. They got those gifts from the federal government, and now everyone, because Bayelsa Queens actually won this particular competition before the Super Falcons did that. So probably the Bayelsa state government saw what the federal government did for the Super Falcons and said, let's follow suit. So I think it's going to open the door to more rewards in the next few days. Probably the next week we're talking about more teams getting rewarded. Unfortunately, Akwa United not going to get anything from the Kwara State government. But we, for Bayelsa Queens, I think it's something to look forward to. 4 million naira for the coach. I think that's something that can spur the coach to do even better. He'd go to his house and say, what can I do to get this 4 million naira next year? Very good reward system for me.
A very good reward system from Fortina, from the president, rather the governor of the state, Bayelsa State. Well, quickly, let's switch gear and go to Borno State. This one, I don't know, it's that of mixed fortune for me, but the very fact that a Borno State governor has donated new Toyota Sienna to El Academy Warriors, technical advisors and technical team. So, to David, what do you make of it? A new Toyota Sienna.
I do not know.
For the technical department.
For the technical department, I do not know how many are there in numbers, because if it's actually a team bus,
Toyota Sienna is more like a family car.
For the coaches,
for the coaches and not the players. Maybe just to support the players up, the technical staffs up rather, and of course also it's a major challenge ahead. It doesn't really look appealing to me.
Branded. Well, branded with a governor's face. Everybody in politics in there and football.
That's what you get when you have, a state-owned football team.
Yeah, I know.
Definitely has to do with this.
I want to dash you a car, dash you Toyota Sienna.
Please just bring it. I'll still take it.
Well, I think this particular vehicle would be monopolized by the coach, and that's why I think, because he did not give it to the coaches. He said he's giving it for the technical crew. So probably the technical crew would dedicate it to the coach. Giving it for the technical crew. So probably the technical crew would dedicate it to the coach. And maybe
that's you assuming. So
I'm sure that's what's going to happen
on match days or
that's you assuming. So
I'm sure that's what's going to happen
on match days or at home. Just transport to the stadium.
You expect the coach to go different, separate from the players,
the team bus.
From the team bus.
As if they even have a team bus.
I doubt. This is let's
okay, David brought a caveat to it. That is if they have a team. You didn't hear from me. Well, let's go to talk about our talking point. We hear that the home-based Eagles played a friendly against Zanzibar, and that friendly ended a draw, 2-2 draw. And well, a preparation towards the tournament that will be taking place in Tanzania, the CHAN competition taking place in Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya. Well, the game took place with Nigeria's first match will be a clash with at the Aman Stadium, and then concluding this campaign, Group D campaign against Congo at the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium at Dar es Salaam on Tuesday 19th. So the second game takes place Tuesday 12th, and the first game would take place, when is it going to take place now? Well, the tournament is kicking off the 8th edition. And now let's look at European football then. It's a preseason and mid-preseason stuff taking place. So what we're talking about outside UK. Well, funny thing, you saw it. You saw the game. Papa Sarr making the defense for Tottenham Hotspur. Mohamed Kudus performing quite well in that one. The coach came out and really pressed him. Thomas Frank seemed to be doing something special with his Tottenham side. But Meno says preseason, Arsenal losing in preseason.
Well, there's something I look at when I watch Hotspur cannot dominate against Arsenal. That means they are not, very much advanced from what we saw under Ant Putusoglu. Under Ant, they played attacking football. Yes, it was more of a defensive structure. If that's the new look for
example, I remind fun about a European Cup final. Tottenham were totally defensive against Manchester United. Well, who are the champions?
All that matters.
Tottenham Hotspur. But you saw the style he played at Brentford, moving to Tottenham Hotspur now. More like his defensive coach, definitely high block system for him. You think it wouldn't work for this Tottenham side? Well, Ange Postecoglou was a lot attacking, but at the end of it, what happened?
I really do not have problems with the idea or maybe the approach to game for the man Thomas Frank at Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, every coach would not have that same dominating idea. We have actually seen teams who are conservative about their transition to the counter-attack are so dangerous that if they score just 1 or 2, they lock up for the entire duration of the game. So if that's what will work for him at Tottenham Hotspur, then why not? Just go get along with it. But let it be a fact that that particular system is working for you. Otherwise, there will be backlash by the fans. They will be the first to call for your sack.
And definitely the fans will say, well, you're not giving us good football, you're not giving us results, so what are you doing? And that's always going to be the concern. And then while we move to Spain, we hear that Real Madrid are requesting for a delayed La Liga start denied. Well, it's always going to be that conversation from Real Madrid. They were asking for it. They said there should be a postponement in that first game, but it's not going to happen because, look, the last game Real Madrid played at a tournament talking about a Club World Cup, which they're talking about, was on Wednesday, July 9th, and when they were beaten by Paris Saint-Germain 4-0 in the semi-finals at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, La Liga scheduled their first game against Osasuna at the Santiago Bernabeu at home for Tuesday, August 19, 9 p.m. local time, 41 days later. Well, all the back and forth, but La Liga saying, come on, forget about it. Let's talk about the one that concerns Nigerians and Victor Osimhen deals smashing a Turkish transfer record. I'll give you details of it because I had to gather it anyway. Well, the most expensive signing in history of the Turkish Super League. Number one, Victor Osimhen. How much? 75 million euros in total. Well, number two, Yusuf El Nesri, 19.5 million euros. And number three, Gebel Sara, 18 million euros. Number four, Mario Jardel. I know many people will know about Jardel in the early 2000s. Fantastic Brazilian superstar at the time. Most expensive player at the time too, 17 million euros. And number five, Nicolo Zaniolo, 15 million euros. When you're big, but in Turkey now.
Well, I think he, is trying to do the same thing that Ronaldo did for the Saudi League. Maybe we're going to see a massive exodus of job class.
Why did he have to laugh when saying that then?
I'm trying to be serious, but at the end of it, I'm not really impressed.
I'm really seeing the serious face then.
But then, Victor Osimhen, £75 million. Maybe it's time for Turkish football to start, selling out the cash to get players, because normally we know the Turkish football league to get players for low amount of money, but then the salary are really huge. Look at the salary wise.
They do not get players at the peak of their careers,
exactly,
basically. So Victor Osimhen is at the peak, and of course also one of the
youngest.
Absolutely. So you expect that.
Euros.
Definitely.
250,000 euros a week. That's big money in Turkish league. And so the question would be the follow-up that comes with it next season and how they build the conversation.
It could also be an eye-opener if Victor Osimhen is a hit now. Other teams will follow suit. Go for youngsters or go for players at the peak, splash the cash, and get them to be competitive.
If they don't get a win, stuff, what happens?
For Galatasaray?
Yeah, especially at the bigger stage, because Galatasaray are not about winning the league, because they've been always winning the league.
I do not expect them to win the Champions League either.
A good performance in the Champions
League. A good performance could also be something handy, but winning the Champions League, outside of Victor Osimhen, how many other players would they recruit at top level? So
they're looking forward to get Edison Moraes from Manchester City.
Yeah, that's what
we're
hearing too.
Galatasaray are really beginning to get serious in the transfer window.
Our time is fast spent. We're closing now. Well, we hear Alexander Isak trains at former club Royal Society at Debacle, and Tottenham in loan talks for Bayern Joao Paul Hina in that direction. Frankie de Jong says he will extend Barcelona contract as Fulham and AC Milan hold talks over Samuel Chukwueze. Southampton rejects Everton's £27 million bid for Deebling. West Ham, Paqueta cleared of sport fixing charges, and Liverpool confirmed front vets number 7 Hugo Ekitike as number 22. Well, it's a March week in Tech and Sports Central today. Tomorrow is another day. Thank you guys for being
Everton not looking really serious. £27 million, and David Moyes is complaining. That's so sad.
Well, we don't have time. We can't dwell on it. Thank you for being a part of it. We bounce now. Tomorrow is another day. I'll go back. No, but we're going to talk on now. Why United?
I didn't do a big thing over the whole panels. Even this small angle.
Spectrum TV.
Those guys he wants to look on Facebook where person talk say, easy one small girl sell granules.